What was I right?
Γράφω.
Γράφω. And the closed version?
Γράψω.
Γράψω. And the order, right?
Γράψε.
Γράψε. Good. So usually we build this order by using the closed form of the verb and an E ending. So what was I play?
Παίζω.
Παίζω. Good. And the closed version?
Παίξω.
Παίξω. And play as an order. Play.
Παίξε.
Παίξε. How is I wait?
Περιμένω.
Περιμένω. So with περιμένω, we don't have a closed version to use for the order, so we can just use περιμένω. But when we have longer verbs like περιμένω, we will want the accent third from the end in the order. We will add our E on the end and have our accent third from the end. So how would you say wait?
Περίμενε.
Περίμενε. But without context, what else could περίμενε mean? Περίμενε.
He was waiting.
He waited. He was waiting. No? But it's so obvious when someone is giving you an order, it's pretty hard to get these confused. What was I change?
Αλλάζω.
Αλλάζω. And the closed version?
Αλλάξω.
Αλλάξω. Change.
Άλλαξε.
Άλλαξε. And what else could this mean?
He was changing or he changed.
Not either.
He changed.
He changed only, no? Because here we have an open and a closed version. So άλλαξε is just he changed or she changed or it changed. If we want to say change it, buy it, wait for me, when we make a positive order, when we say to do something, the word for it, for me, it goes after the verb. So again, tell me, how do you say change? Not change it, just change.
Άλλαξε.
Άλλαξε. And we have the accent third from the end, no? In longer verbs when we make the order, άλλαξε. Now, if you say change it, well, here we have another example of a double accent. We will come up on the end again, on the end of the verb, to join that all together and make it sound all connected. Change it. So, how would you say that? Change it.
Αλλαξέτο.
Αλλαξέτο. Very good. So we get an accent on the A, like always, and then up again on the end. Αλλαξέτο. How would you say he changed it? He changed it.
Το άλλαξε.
To άλλαξε. Very good. So you couldn't get this confused, no, with αλλαξέτο. How would you say wait again? Giving the order, wait.
Περίμενε.
Περίμενε. Wait for me.
Περιμένεμε. Περιμένεμε.
Περιμένεμε. No? Περίμενε. Περιμένεμε. How would you say he waited for me?
Με περίμενε.
Με περίμενε. How would you say buy? Giving the order, buy.
Αγόρασε.
Αγόρασε. Good. Αγόρασε. Again, the accent third from the end. Αγόρασε. And buy it?
Αγορασέτο.
Yes, but we don't just move the accent, we double it, no? So we have two. Αγόρασε, αγορασέτο. Like I said, you would come across things in Greek that remind you of all of these rules that seem impossible to remember. And when you get those reminders, you realize it's a very finite amount of rules, actually, when you come across them and you get those reminders again that this thing happens or something else happens. So, for example, you might see around Greece or on the internet in Greek, αγορασέτο με 10 ευρώ, for example. Buy it with 10 euros, for some offer. And that will remind you, okay, why is it happening there? Why do we have the double accent? Αγορασέτο. Especially when you see it written. You see a written accent on the O and then another one on the E. And you can think about why that's there. And in this way, it reminds you of the rule. That we are connecting αγόρασε and to. Αγορασέτο με 10 ευρώ. And this is also another example of prepositions, these little words like me, se, ya, not crossing over too well from one language to another, no? In English, we'd say, buy it for 10 euros. No, but in Greek, buy it with 10 euros. If you want to give an order to a third person, like to him or her, like in English, let him write, let him write. It's like, okay, we may mean leave him to do it, or we may mean like, he should do it. We can use na in Greek to do this. So how would you say that? Let him write.
Να γράψε.
After na, we just need to use our normal verb endings. So it's just literally na, he writes.
να γράψει.
Να γράψει. So this is like let him write, να γράψει. Or να γράφει, depending on the context. You know, maybe he wants to be a writer and we want to say something more like let him be a writer. So να γράφει. Let her buy it. Let her buy it.
Να το αγοράσει.
Να το αγοράσει. Να το αγοράσει αυτή. So when we use now, we know where everything goes, no? The to before the verb. Everything behaves like it usually does. Να το αγοράσει. We can also do this with you, no? For more emphasis. So, for example, you could say αγόρασε το, you know, buy it, αγόρασε το. Or να you buy it, you know? And let's use the word for you to give that emphasis, no? Otherwise, we would just say αγόρασε το. But imagine, you know, you want to say, you know, like you should be the one that buys it. Να you buy it. So how would that be?
Να το αγοράσεις εσύ.
Good. Να το αγοράσεις εσύ. So we don't have to worry about any different ending for the order. No, with na, we know how everything behaves. Να το αγοράσεις εσύ. You guys should buy it. You guys should be the ones that buy it.
Να το αγοράσετε εσείς.
Να το αγοράσετε εσείς. If you want to say buy it to more than one person, buy it. Instead of αγοράσετε, we have αγοράστε. So the ete, the e of the ete, gets contracted when we're making the order. Αγοράστε.
Αγοράστε.
So this is buy, no, as an order to more than one person. So instead of adding ete for the plural, the e gets swallowed up. Although not always, no, but it does get contracted away, especially after an s. And as we know, what most of our closed forms ending is an s, no? So most of the time we will just see te, αγοράστε. How would you say buy it to more than one person?
Αγοράστε το.
Αγοράστε το. And here we don't double the accent, no? We don't have the accent third from the end on αγοράστε. So we don't have to worry about that to causing the accent to double. Αγοράστε το. What is I try?
Προσπαθώ.
Προσπαθώ. And the closed version?
Προσπαθήσω.
Προσπαθήσω. How would you say try? Talking to one person. Try.
Προσπάθησε.
Προσπάθησε. Good. Now talking to more than one person, we're going to add ete, but the e is going to get contracted away. So how would that sound?
Προσπαθήστε.
Προσπαθήστε. And the accent is on the e, προσπαθήστε, as if it were third from the end, as if that end didn't disappear, as if it were προσπαθήσετε. So when we contract it, we don't move the accent. Προσπαθήσετε, προσπαθήστε. Αγοράσετε, αγοράστε. What if you wanted to say na, you know, like you guys should try and give that extra emphasis, just na, you guys try. How would that be?
Να προσπαθήσετε.
So προσπαθήστε is when you give the order. Now that very direct order. But when we use na, when we use us, when we use a different way of showing that we want someone to do something, then everything behaves as we would expect it to.
Να προσπαθήσετε.
Να προσπαθήσετε. Να προσπαθήσετε εσείς. You know, you guys should try. We are trying. How would you say play? Talking to more than one person.
Παίξτε.
Παίξτε. Very good. I take. What does I take?
Παίρνω.
Παίρνω. Good. So we have παίρνω and πάρω. No? How would you say call me? Take me phone when you want. Call me when you want.
Πάρε με τηλέφωνο όταν θέλεις.
Good. The word for when here is not a question. So we use όταν, not πότε. Πάρε με τηλέφωνο όταν θέλεις. Call me when you want. But we could also use όποτε. So we have πότε for when. And if we add an o to this, όποτε, and accent that o, όποτε, we get the word for whenever. So if you want to say, call me whenever you want, you can say όποτε. So how would that be?
Πάρε με τηλέφωνο όποτε θέλεις.
Πάρε με τηλέφωνο όποτε θέλεις. And I mentioned that θέλεις can also contract to θες. So it's very common to hear όποτε θες. So actually, we can add an o to the beginning of question words to get this meaning of ever in English. For example, we have the word for what, which is
Τι.
τι. And whatever is
Ότι.
Ό,τι. Good. But oti also means, what else does oti mean? Nomizo oti,
That.
that. Nomizo oti, I believe that, I think that. So oti of whatever is actually written O, comma, ti. A comma, no, not an apostrophe, a comma. And that makes one word, O, comma, ti, to differentiate it from the oti of that. So we have oti, whatever. You could say take whatever you want.
Pare oti thelis.
Pare oti thelis. Pare oti thes. Take whatever you want. You might also hear in Greek otinane for whatever, but in that sense of whatever, you know? Whatever. Otinane.
Otinane.
What do you think it means literally? Otinane.
Whatever that it is.
Yeah, nane, what is nane?
Nine.
Good. Exactly. Naine contracted. Otinane, whatever it be. What is the word for where?
Pu.
Pu. Wherever?
Opu.
Pu. And do you remember the word for how? As in, how are you?
Pos.
Pos. However?
Opos.
Opos. Good.